Hello, Leo friends. How are you? I hope this reading finds you healthy and happy. I know we're in crazy times right now, and I will see what information I can get for you from from dipping into that cosmic information river. Now, we have a full moon coming up on the 7th and a new moon coming up on the 22nd. For many of you Leos, I have the impression that around the 7th, you're going to be feeling somewhat emotional. You know, we have this full moon, which tends to agitate things lots of times, positive and negative. But it's in Scorpio, and there's a lot of Neptune energy, meaning that some emotions that have been under the surface are probably going to come bubbling up for all of us. So remember, you know, our emotions are an information machine. So listen to what's coming up around the 7th and share your feelings. You know, don't hold your feelings in, share them. It's important. And then, you know, the new moon on the 22nd is going to have a much more practical forward movement energy that I think Leos would like. So, Leos, you are fire. You know, you're fire queens, fire kings, and you know, as fire, you like to burn, you like to be connected, you like to be involved, and for some of you right now, it's been a bit of a hard road the last few months, and it's sort of showing up at the beginning of your reading. We're going to evolve out of that energy as we go towards the end of the month, but at the beginning, some of you may just be feeling stuck. Like, man, I really want forward movement, and I can't. And, you know, I get it. I think a lot of us are feeling that way, but obviously my cards are talking about Leo specifically right now. And you're being crossed by this really big security energy. And so, you know, for many of you, you have double indicators here that security is your primary issue, and that you're going to be dealing with ideas of like, do I take a risk of some of my security to get forward movement? You know, and you're the one who's going to have to determine that. You know, to add on top of that, one of the biggest energies for you this month is the Hanged Man. People get impatient when they're, you know, under the auspices of the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is all about surrender. And I just keep seeing here in your reading, your internal cards are the Ace of Fire, you know, the Eight of Wands. There's this push for wanting connection and movement and progress, and it's just the external situation is not conducive to that right now. And so you're trying to start figure out like what are the risks, you know, of maybe forfeiting some of your security for forward movement. And I don't know, that could be financial, that can be emotional. I mean, are you going to take a risk to do maybe a social distance party? Are you going to take a risk investing maybe in, you know, a class or some other investment to feel safer in the future? These are paramount ideas. What I will say is when you have the Hanged Man as your primary, you know, message, your guides are saying, do not push anything. You've got to sit back. You know, you cannot force things to resolve. You can't force things forward if they're not in a place to go forward. So, Leo, for right now, it's really important that you take some deep breaths, you know, look around, look at what you have, what you're thankful for. You know, it's free to dream, it's free to plan, but this reading is saying for some of you, really you have to weigh pushing forward any movement for yourself right now just out of restlessness. And that goes for relationships too. You have such a funny relationship sector. you know, you know, my friend who I'm reading for, you're being shown as this like butterfly. This is also the card of getting recognition, being looked at, and this is in love. So many of you may be really wanting to be seen. Meanwhile, all the energy around is pretty static. So it's really hard to work your magic, you know, in quarantine. Or, you know, thank you if you're an essential worker. But if you're an essential worker right now, you're being worked to death, but not literally. And for the rest of us, we're at home. So it's just sort of the natural habitat of the Leo is not happening right now. And I think it's starting to get to some of you. But I will say you do have quite a few people approaching. So somehow or another, you're going to reach out and make connection. Please, you know, Leos are usually not, you know, afraid of taking the first step towards somebody. And that's the beauty of Leo. They'll be the first to give. They'll be the first to offer a thought, an emotion, you know, without this sort of tit for tat energy. They will always, almost always, you know, if you're a healthy Leo, be the first to be like, here, take this. And then, of course, they love it if you gave something back, but they don't generally keep tabs. So I'm going to say, do that to the best of your ability. Sit tight. Things are changing. Overall, this is a great reading, but you do need to please weigh any maybe bigger decisions you might be feeling like you want to make this month, especially towards the end of the month. And as we move forward, definitely, you know, around the 22nd with that great sort of Gemini energy coming in, with the new moon, the rebirth energy, just really start connecting and reaching out to other people. And this absolutely can lead to new connection on all levels. I mean, you might even start a new relationship, even under these interesting times, right? Friendship or love relationship. And I will say, around the 7th, which is that full moon in Scorpio, there's a real soulmate energy floating around. So if you have started something new with someone and it's feeling like it's really a possibility for many of you, it really will turn into a very significant, deep relationship. So Leo, I hope you're healthy. I hope you're happy. And I will definitely be checking back in with you next month. Bye.